Alright, let's get started. So what I've got here is the apartment complex, obviously. And the apartment complex is 4 high. Now, at the moment, the units and the way they're set up in 3ds Max, if I just get my box tool, you can see, okay, there's no specific nature to the units. If we go into customize and unit setup, we can set this to metric or US standard feet with fractional inches or anything else you want. Okay, so if I do that, you can now see the height on this is 7'10" because this has been set up correctly. So what we need is a roof height of about 8, just 8 feet. There we go. So that's that height there. That's considered a fairly average kind of height in that people aren't going to whack their heads off it or anything like that. And the apartment complex itself is 4 floors high. So remember, we're doing everything really by eye because that's how the visualizations aspect's going to work. So we want 3 floors of that, yeah? Okay, let's just delete that down. Now, with that, we now have this, alright? Now, if we look at this, here, okay, in front of this window, this is where we're going to have a lift block, okay, just for bringing people up and down. There's going to be a space though on this side of it, so it's going to be stairs and then a lift. Reason being that the people who live in these apartments don't want to be woken up by heavy lift machinery going off at all times of the day and night. Okay, let's go into our top view now because it's time to start fleshing out the apartment. Now obviously Chris has done a top job on this, but we're going to want to do a slightly less precise job because what we're doing is we're doing the exterior visualizations. So I'm going to come from here, just line this up properly and bring it down to around about here. Don't have to be precise yet, because I will be soon. I'll do this with a plane rather than a box. Don't know why I thought a box was a good idea exactly. There we go. Turn off grid. And for colours, I'm going to turn this to a plain grey and turn off assign random colours, like so. Right click, convert to editable poly. And now what I can do is just start moving this around until I have it in the right position. Just on the edge there, like that. Now I'm going to look at this front overhang. I'm going to bring this front overhang to about here. There we go. Just hit F4 so I can see what I'm doing slightly better. Okay, just drop into perspective mode. I prefer working in perspective. Orthographic's way more precise, obviously, for architectural visualization. However, whilst I'm just zooming around the model, I prefer to work in perspective mode. Now, obviously, the difference between that is orthographic mode. You can tell the difference, yeah? Big difference too. Okay, let's just go into here and just adjust this a little bit, because we want it as accurate as possible to this piece here, yeah? Okay, now what I'm going to do is just delete these two. I never work in orthographic unless I'm working with building stuff. It's just pointless, really. I think what I'll do is I'll bring this one up as well, that way they're even. I'm not modelling the inside of the apartment. Why? Because Chris has already done that. I don't need to. Okay, let's drop back in perspective for the moment. Thing is, I know this is going to line up, so hold down Shift and just drag it. There we go. And I've now filled this, which is our external bathroom here, yeah? Cracking. Now again, remember, entryways and main window are on the front here, yeah? So this is our little balcony, this is our front door here. Okay. Next, let's work out our projection for getting this to the next floor up. So if I go here, shift and drag straight up, just until it starts to intersect with this piece here, and there we go. That's all there was to that, and now that's there. Now we're going to use some of these tools over here in the graphite modeling tool selection, because what I want to do is make some swift loops, because obviously we have to take into account things like the thickness of the floor, for example, and all sorts of other fun things like that. So just swift loop the floor in if I can ever get a hold of this edge, which it appears I can't. Although, is this loopable, or should I stick a cap on the top first? Stick a cap on. There we go. Now let's see if Swift Loop will let me have my way. Nope, in that case I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to grab this edge. No, go away you. This edge. And I'll do a quick ring, and then a connect. And then just bring that down. And that gives us the floor height, okay, because the floor always has to have a height. Like so. And then we'll do the same again here. So again, just ring it, connect it. And the ceiling height. And again, do not worry, we are not being madly precise here. All we're doing at the moment is working out how to get this all to stay the same. Now, I'm going to delete that. You'll notice I've left this projection one on the top here. There should be one at the bottom, and it's gone. So now we just have these two items here, yeah? What I want to do now is start putting some doorways in. Okay, now we've got a couple of choices here. One, we can go to our good old buddy who lives at like Turbo Squid and buy ourselves a door. Or we can, you know, do it the long way, which isn't really going to be that much of an effort. So, building a door, depending on what we need. Now, we need a modern style door. So, what we're going to do is head over to Google and just do a quick GIS. We do a quick GIS for an apartment door, you can see all these various different styles of doors, yeah? So, like I said, at the moment we don't have anything planned out, we just want a fast visual for the client to see what they're interested in. Now that's nice, see that? Kind of plain, we've got the door jamb going around it and this kind of modern looking kind of frame here. Remember, we're going to need letterboxes and things like this as well, or if you're not in Europe, obviously mail goes outside in some sort of a weird collecting thing. Right, let's turn off realistic, because it's doing odd things, and turn this to shaded. That's better. Now we can see how big we need this to be, so I'm going to start off with a box, like so, because a door will always be like that. Now we want 6.5 feet high, with a width here of 3.6, there we go. And this is going to have a height of 6.5. 6.5 is probably too much. Standard door height. Hang on, let's do a quick search on that. Okay, the size of a standard door is... Oh nice, they've done it in metric. Makes you wonder really, doesn't it? From 2'6" to 3 foot wide, increasing in 2-inch increments is a standard door size. So there we go. And let's have a look, between 6 and 8 feet high. So we'll have 7 feet as our standard. Okay, so 7 foot. With a length here of 3 foot, because that's nice and wide. And a width of, it doesn't say, it depends on the building I suppose. Let's say 2 inches. Okay, so that's the actual size of the door itself. Just zoom in on that. There we go. Now I'm going to add an extra couple of inches to this for the thickness, because I need to take into account things like the door jamb, and I need to take into account also a couple of inches of height, so 2 inches of height and 4 inches of width, like that, just to give the door some, obviously some space for the paneling that goes around the outside there. Okay, next, right click, convert to editable polygon, and this becomes our door, like so. And now we can start slicing it up. So what I'm going to do is, what I need to do therefore is work out a simple measurement on this. So if I get a box, I'm just going to bring it out like this, and I just want my box to be 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. Okay, so it's like having a very tiny tape measure. I don't have to be specifically accurate as long as I'm accurate enough. There we go. So now I take this and I go to Swift Loop and just go to there. See, that Swift Loop's not in the right place. Let's try that again. There. and then again move this across. There are various different ways of doing this, but this is just the way that I choose to do it. Okay, let's quick swift loop here. Gives us quite a robust looking frame if it's 2 inches as well. Okay, like that. And now I can get rid of our 2-inch measuring block for the moment. I'll just zoom in on this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this area here, which is our polygon, and I'm going to extrude it inwards, like so. That gives us this shape here, as you can probably see. Now there won't be too much of a space around the outside of the door, but I'm just going to imply there is one. You see, you've got to remember, like our doorways haven't been bought. Okay, they don't exist. This is all hypothetical for the client. Now, the architect's going to presumably design the exterior of the building, but we need something to show the client to see if it's going to be accepted or not. We've got these inside apartment parts done, so let's go here and just do a quick ring, quick connect. So what we're trying to do is just come up with something, you know, something moderately nice. Okay, and I'm just going to select this part here, just extrude it a teeny bit, like that. Okay, and it just gives us a kind of nice outset on the door there, yeah? You can't see it too well, but you will when it renders. Okay, and it's also good if we're having a walk around. Now, we could do with a handle on this and some sort of a key mechanism on this as well. So what we're going to do, let's go straight into a box mode here. And we can place this on here. Now, we need an auto grid for this. Box. Do that. Okay, this will give us our card or key access, so we can just put that there, like that, and then we'll have a door handle as well. So you swipe your card, you turn your handle, yeah? So for that we're going to need a sphere, like that, pull it out. Now on this side, convert to editable polygon. And remember, there's no real... It's funny, you'd think there'd be a lot more caution and care being taken at this stage, but to be honest, all we're interested in is the end result. How we get there isn't really matching too much at the moment. I know it sounds like stunning and all that, but it's true. Just cap that. Okay, now I'm going to inset it. Not that much, just a teeny bit. I think I went over there. It's a very small area. Then extrude. Just goes through the door like that. Okay, pull back, and now we have this handle area, which we can apply textures to, and it'll make things considerably easier for us. Yeah? Alright, good. Next. I'm going to take this, sink it into the side of the building, like so. That's our door. Okay, so we now have a door into our apartment complex. Next, we need a window, which is going to go here. So for the window, what I'm going to do is turn off auto grid. Now you'll notice if I turn that off, it's kind of creating it just about anywhere. I need to get the size right on the wall here, so what I'm going to do is go into box mode, auto grid again. You'll notice it's not actually letting me draw on this part of the wall here. So, silly damn thing. What I'll do instead, because it's giving me some grief, is I'll cut it directly into the shape using, let's see, swift loop, because I like swift loop. Just get it there at that edge, and there at that edge, like that. Now I can cut it along the top to the top of the door frame, like that. Now, windows should come up approximately 2 feet from the base. Now, if we don't know how high 2 feet is, we can get ourselves a box, drag it out like this, and give it a height of 2 feet. Okay, so that's got a height of 2 feet there. Just push it in. Okay, nice big window. Plenty of sun's going to come in through that, which will be lovely. So again, go through to our swift loop. just here, and make sure I get it at the right segment, which is there. Okay, so now it goes over that. This is our window here. The shape's actually not too bad, so what I'm going to do is split it into a double window, like that. Now if you want it completely exact, you can take out these. Just have a quick check, because there'll be these verts in the middle here and here. And I'm going to go here to here and just click connect. Okay, so that makes it exact. Now what I can do is just extrude these to the same sort of value as this, which is approximately 1.5 inches. So extrude like that. You'll notice we've got no chamfers going on yet, don't worry about that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to inset this, and I want to inset that middle part as well separately in just a moment. So I'm going to inset this, oops, that's an extrude still, down like that. Okay, just so we get the same thickness of the window. Remember, this is all about speed. We have a client that we need to sell things to, or sell an idea to anyway. Okay, going to chamfer this wide. He won't have even decided on what the windows are going to look like yet. Okay, now we're going to extrude this in, teeny bit. So now you can see the difference. We created this one as a separate object, this one's just part of our object. Okay, so there's our apartment, as you can see it, windows. The difference with this is our windows don't actually have any depth, so what we can do, come back into these, I'm going to just inset them again, just extrude them again rather. Okay, just for the thickness of the glass I would like. Then bring them out to here, like that. And then once I've done that, I'll just delete them. Okay, now we can actually see into our apartment. We're not going to. Curtains, blinds, whatever can be placed there. However, it will give us an idea for where these things are going to be. Okay, next. Now we have a requirement for a window over here. Now we can basically copy what we have over here to over there. It's not that difficult. You may think it is, but trust me, it really isn't. So what we need to do first is just select these faces. Like that. And then what we can do is grow them. Now the problem is if we grow them too much, we can end up with all these parts over here as well. However, they can be deselected a lot more easily than all the parts here can be selected. Or, if we go into our, I think it's our right viewport, hang on. There we are, right. And then just make sure we're on select only rather than select and move. We could also do this, which will select these parts and then deselect these parts here. Now the issue with this is we're going to have selected everything at the back of the building too. So you'll have to either deselect these or ignore back facing. So it's up to you. Okay, so we have this window here. Let's move it across. So I'm just going to hold down Shift, copy it, and you may notice now that it's moved it as an element here. Okay, now what we're going to do is go into Swift Loop over here. And in Swift Loop, I'm just going to go here and then here, like that. Trim this out, and then over here, where I have this element, whoops, this element here, okay, this is obviously quite a large element, I'm going to just affix it into place around about here. Now as we can see at the moment, it's not quite the right size. For a start, we have too many bits, so let's just get rid of these. Off you go. Okay, and if I just zoom in on this part, and that part, and that part, and that part, I can now bring them across. I think I'll need to bring this bit with it. Let's have a quick look, make sure there's not too many other bits that are supposed to be coming. That looks slightly more like it. I think it'll probably be easier if I grab at these verts. One collection there and one collection here. Like that. Now there's a hole at the top which I'm going to sort out in just a moment. Before I do, Let's just move these parts along a bit more. Just until they intersect through into there, and that way they're fitting in. So you see, these are other methods we can use just to quickly kind of get the results that we need. Notice how we're straightening there, and then we can straighten up here as well, like this. Okay, but again we have this kind of hole that will need to be filled in. So what we can do is we could isolate this element, which we can do over here. Hang on a second, I'll just hide this. There we go. So we can actually isolate our element over here by isolating the actual polygons, or we can isolate it as a separate object depending on which one we prefer. So in this case just hide unselected. Okay, and that allows us just to see the parts we can work on here. And let's have a look. I think I'd like to select this and just do a quick ring on it. I mean a quick loop on it, sorry. So let's look and see how that did. Because it's got an extra edge in there that I really didn't want. So if I do a Control and backspace, that'll get rid of any verts associated with it as well. Same here. So as you can see, there's no extra verts there now. And then if I just select here to here and bridge, and then down here, okay, and bridge, like so, and then hide unselected. Sorry, I mean unhide all, not hide unselected. Keep pressing the wrong button there, don't I? Okay, so now you can see that our apartment complex has 2 windows into it now, and we just need to put one down there, and I don't think there's a further one down here. Let's have a quick check. So obviously all the sun's just going to come in here from the front. Now what I'm going to do is just quickly put this window here in the side. So if I just select this, and I'm going to use my rotate tool, hold down shift, rotate it 90 degrees, which you can see down on the bottom bar. Okay, and just clone it to an element, and then bring my element over here. Okay, and now what I want to do is just make a space for it to go in. So I'm going to go over here and just use my swift loop tool. One there and one there. No, close though. Swift loop just here. It's quite hard getting it precise. There we go. No. Come on. It's determined not to get this damn thing, isn't it? I've just created 3 loops, one after the other, in the wrong area. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Gosh, I'm silly. I'm creating it in the wrong bit. So one goes there, and then one's going to come over here as well to there, like that. Okay, knock out this polygon here, and then I can drag this segment here into place, and it will cover the gap the window has left. Okay, so now we have the apartment complex with its door and with its windows. Now this box here, funnily enough, is going to be quite useful, because this will be the electrical box if it was a single flat. However, as it's not, this would be down in wherever the hell the superintendent for the building would then keep said items. This is obviously the bathroom, and it doesn't appear to have any windows that I can see, but it would presumably have a ventilation duct which would go on the outside of it round about there. AutoGrid, however, does not want to let me do that, so I shall build it here instead. And I think 10 inches. Well, actually, no, that one looks about fine. Yep, 10 inches. So copy that across to here. It's always a pain in the arse working in inches, but there you go. I do prefer metric, but okay, and this would be where the external fan box goes to extract moisture from the bathroom, like so. Okay, so that's the first part done, and I'll see you in the next bit.